Black people, white people, gay, straight, lesbian, transgender, ex-cons, Latin, Asian, all of us come together, working, all coming together to add patches to a quilt that is as diverse as it can be, diversity at its best.
Tyler Perry delivered an impassioned speech Sunday night at the 2020 Emmy Awards as he was honored with the Governor's Award for his contributions to the television industry. The 51-year-old mogul started off by thanking the Academy and his team, clearly moved by the impact of the award.
This is amazing. I didn't expect to feel this way.
Then Perry recalled a story about a gift his grandmother gave him when he left home at 19, a multicolor quilt that he didn't really care for and used as a rag, but after learning more about it, he grew to love it.
Here I was, a person who prides myself on celebrating our heritage, our culture, and I didn't even recognize the value in my grandmother's quilt. I dismissed her work and her story because it didn't look like what I thought it should.
Perry also shared a memory from his childhood, watching his father at home frustrated for working all week yet never getting paid, a lesson his mother warned him about.
She turned to me and she said, "Don't you ever stand by a door waiting for white folks to do nothing for you." She couldn't imagine a world where her son was not waiting by the door for someone. In her quilt, she couldn't imagine me actually building my own door and holding that door open for thousands of people. In my mother's quilt, she couldn't imagine me owning land that was once a Confederate Army base, where Confederate soldiers plotted and planned on how to keep blacks enslaved.
Perry concluded his touching speech by acknowledging the value of every patch in a quilt and reflecting on the significance of his success.
In my grandmother's quilt, there were no patches that represented black people on television. But in my quilt, her grandson is being celebrated by the Television Academy.
E.T. spoke with Perry in August, just hours after learning he'd be receiving the Governor's Award.
For the governors to even consider me for it and to know that they were watching and paying attention, that was really, really powerful. And I was blown away by it.
Bringing it full circle, the entertainer shared who inspired him to always give back.
Where does that come from, that pay it forward attitude?
Oh, that's the DNA of my mother. You know, my mother was just such a kind woman. I realized that, you know, people aren't out there struggling because they want to. You know, there are people who just need a hand up, and that little bit of motivation can take them a long way. I'll never forget being in a grocery store in Winn-Dixie in Atlanta, trying to pay for some food and couldn't pay for it. There's a woman behind me who gave me the money to get the food that I needed. Never knew her again, but that little act of kindness made me feel like I can go on. So that's what those moments are about for me, just making people feel like they can go on.